Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday.
All right. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Lane.
And you are sitting on episode 7 of The Musician's Couch.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean, Lane's sitting on it.
I'm sitting on it.
I got kicked off the couch.
You've been demoted. Even though it's your own couch. That's the best part. But who do we have here today, Andrew?
I wanted to talk about that. So, you've got plenty of guitarists and plenty of singers in any given area.
Absolutely.
What's more rare is drummers.
Yeah.
And what's more rare than that is good drummers. I'm sorry, Lane.
Well,
So, yeah, we're doing our part on just drummers.
Yeah.
So right now on the musician's other chair, we have the 6-speed shooter himself, Sean Meho Muniz.
Yes. What's up? Yes.
What is up?
The guest chair, the musician guest chair.
So that intro song, that was yours. That was a Sunday Shift.
Yeah, Sunday Shift. I actually made that song with a local rapper. He's like, it's funny. We're gonna talk like everybody's relevant, right? That everybody that already like plays shows and that we've seen is relevant. He's like the underground rapper of us. All right. So it's my buddy John. He calls himself Black Mage. Very, very talented. He's only played one show so far. And once again, he's like keeping himself like really limited. So like he's like underground of underground. It's neat. But I'm pretty much I'm producing a bunch of songs and he's kind of just taken over, and that was the first song that we collaboratively like made together. And like it was like we sat down with for like a session, and he told me a bunch of stuff. He like bebop boot bat dap doo dot 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 bap 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 bap. And I was like, all right, I'll figure that out.
Don't you love when people do that?
Oh, it was great. No, but me and him have been friends for a really long time, so we knew exactly what we were talking about, and we're both drummers, so we were like talking like drums. Like I'm sure I could talk to Lane, and he knows exactly what I'm saying.
Can you guys communicate
like
telepathically?
for real, dude? For real? Like he's like, oh, dude, I'm looking for a. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Right? I was in jazz band in high school.
Yeah.
And the way my director would tell me,
it was like,
can you do the, yeah. Like,
yeah. And then he's like, oh, I'm sounding like, like a real distorted, like, and I was like, okay, I could arpeggiate, like a like that's cool. Yeah. And then all the other stuff, he was just telling me, like weird ambience. And then he had me listen to an Aesop Rock song, and that just like gave me like the whole like format. I was like, oh, okay, now I know what to do, and made that with him. And then from there, I just kept on pumping out beats like based off of the same philosophies that I had when building this at like 3 a.m. And yeah, and now I have like a whole EP worth of instrumentals that he's gonna do, but I'm gonna release like under my own names and stuff. Like so that's called Sunday Shift right now. That one will probably be the only one that's like named the same thing on my EP. But if it's on Black Mage EP, it'll be called, like It Ends, but on my side it'll be called Full Spoons, like or Spoonfuls. Yeah, what was it? What was it?
It was
Foonspools, yeah, Foonspools or
Foonspools.
something fucking stupid like that.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to that one in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that one's and that one I'm gonna be calling something else on that, but just as an idea, like that's how that works.
I definitely love the vibes of that intro. It sounded very cyberpunk.
Oh yeah,
cyberpunk, really? That's cool.
Yeah, well, no, we've been working on a digital comic concept, and it's off an old cyberpunk story that I made from do like
Dope.
5 years ago.
Which now we know you can definitely help with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm all about that
Add him to the
stuff.
group chat.
I'm all about
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Do that right
we've
now.
been working on just fleshing out the story a little bit more, and then also some soundtrack concepts.
Cool.
So I mentioned to you before we started recording, I bought an Arturia mini lab,
Right,
and
right.
oh man, it's perfect for it. There's actually there's a preset in there called the Blade Runner synth.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope, man. That's just like I just got a new piece of equipment too. That the Strike. You saw it. That's right.
Yes,
And like, ooh, you only saw just the beginning of it.
So
Like,
yeah, explain to
yeah.
Lane exactly what your setup as a
Yeah.
drummer is.
Oh man, it's
Uh-oh.
like it's evolved. It's stupid. Like I used to do the whole just a 4-piece jazz kit.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Just nice and minimal. But I used to have a lot of cymbals, like
Right.
a ton of cymbals, as many as I could.
Yeah.
And then throughout the years, I broke all of them and couldn't afford like more of them. And I learned how to just work with just 3, just the hi hat, the ride, and the crash.
Yeah.
And that's all I've needed for years now.
Yeah.
And then I got into like electronics and stuff and like doing the hybrid shit.
Yeah.
And I slowly converted a bunch of things, and I now like practice at home with like fully electronics,
Mhm.
but it's like it's a hybrid drum kit. It's like a real drum shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to work with on my set.
It's beautiful.
For Christmas, I got the Alesis sample pad.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
Yep. I got the new Big Brother. It's technically the little brother since it's newer,
Okay.
but it's like it's the Super Saiyan version of that.
Okay.
I got the
It's the little brother that the parents like more.
that yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, that child.
It's really cool.
But yeah, I got the Strike multi-pad just recently, and
Nice.
that's completely changed my game because I went from a DM10 like how my setup is I put mesh heads on the drum set.
Yeah.
And then the roll-in triggers, and then run the triggers to an Alesis DM10 module. And
Nice.
it's like it's been flawless for years. I've like
yeah.
had that set up for a long time. But like we can't load our own sounds into that,
Yeah.
Like they just came out with a module that can do that like just last year. And now I'm able to do everything with the multi-pad. Like I could hook up all of that stuff instead of to the DM10 now to my multi-pad, to the Strike multi-pad. So it's really freaking crazy. So my multi-pad is my brain, and it's the multi-pad, and we could load all of the songs into it and all of the sounds that we need. It's just like it's unlimited capabilities.
Yeah.
So it's like a completely different setup now, and now I pretty much just play with like the snare, the floor tom, a bass drum, and then the multi-pad right in front of me, and that's
wow.
all I. Oh, and then a hi-hat, of course.
Right.
But
Okay.
that's like really all I need, and I guess a ride cymbal just to
Yeah. And
be snazzy.
yeah, I think Andrew was explaining to me what your set was kind of set up as. It was you have some of your cymbals are like with all the holes in them,
Well,
right?
yeah, now that's I have like I've been collecting like too much shit throughout the years. Like it's bad. But I have 3 different applications, right? I have an acoustic setup, I have the practice setup which is the mesh heads and everything that I told you about.
Right.
And then I have what I like to call the restaurant setup or the winery setup and that I've only used it with Andrew. It's really really ergonomic. It's all on one rack. I put the multi-pad on the rack, and then I put another like stand that can hold a snare pad pretty much.
Right.
And then also on the rack just another like pad that almost acts as a floor tom.
Yeah.
And then the ride, and then that ride cymbal that you were talking about, and it has all the holes. It's a Gen 16
Yeah.
cymbal. Sabine also makes their own, but mine is a Zildjian.
Right.
And it's just like it's like a sound display cymbal. It's like a low volume particular cymbal, and they feel like real cymbals. They're super fucking quiet. They sound great.
Right.
They like sound really good, and they feel really good.
Mhm.
And I have the same hi-hats, and I just use that for like the wineries and eventually, restaurants and whatever low volume, like low key kind of just need to put myself in a corner and not really be noticed,
Yeah.
kind of drum set. And it's great because the multi-pad is 9 pads. So I have the 3 pads that I could set up to it, my hi-hat and my ride. That's like a full drum set right there.
Yeah.
And then 9 fucking pads that I can do anything that I want with. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's really, really cool.
You've got to understand that no matter where I perform with my backing tracks, I'm always told by someone that I'm too loud. And either a server or a manager will come by me and say, listen, we've had some complaints. You got to turn it down. And I bring him along, a drummer, and not a single complaint the entire night.
Really?
It's really weird. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that statistic.
No, seriously, like
That's
no matter
crazy.
where I go, it eventually comes up. They do this, and yeah, I'm just pinching my fingers together.
Right, yeah.
I forgot there's no
Wait,
camera, but yeah,
Yeah.
some of that equipment, like those Zildjian cymbals.
Right.
I'm from a really small town in Indiana,
Mhm.
and what's in Indiana is a store a lot of musicians know about that's nowhere else is Sweetwater.
Oh, Sweetwater.
yes,
You come from the land of Sweetwater.
Yes.
Dude,
With the free
I'm not
candy.
joking. I'm not joking. If it wasn't for Sweetwater, I probably wouldn't have the Strike multipad right now.
Right.
To be completely honest. Like, yeah, Sweetwater's the shit.
Yeah, they had like a big it wasn't like a grand opening because I believe they were already open, but they had like some drum day thing. And it was just them setting up all the electric drum kits and everything. And I didn't realize how big Sweetwater was at the time, but it was really cool experience. It was
Wow, so you got to go to like the drum day, the Sweetwater
Oh yeah,
the
Drum
actual
Fest.
Sweetwater.
That's crazy, yeah.
And I've been back since. I mean, since I moved here, I've only gone over the summer. I mean, I visit my dad every summer, but one of my friends I visited, he had bass lessons there.
Oh, wow.
So I just got to hang out there while he had his lessons.
That's
with him.
awesome.
So yeah,
That is awesome. Yeah. I saw this video on the Strike multipad.
Yeah.
Like a day after it was released.
Mhm.
Like the multipad was released in late November after the conference, after the NAMM conference.
Yeah.
And then like seriously a day after it was released, Sweetwater released a, like, hey, check this out, like that's the new pad. And did a 20-minute demo like video, like really cool, cut up and everything, but 20 minutes long. And I was enamored. I was like, oh my God, this is like pretty much, this is 90% what I've like been dreaming of.
Yeah.
All in one module. And I was trying to tell my girlfriend about it, and I was like, hey, you need to watch this video. You need to watch this video. And like trying to like really get her on board. And then a few days later I had her watch it. And like seriously, like 5 minutes into the video, she was like, when are we getting this thing? Like, because it was like pulling teeth. Whenever I would like mention the pad, I'd be like, oh, we do have this credit card from Sam Ash that has a crazy limit on it
Yeah.
that hasn't been used. That's just dying to be, like
Oh
used.
my.
And I'm never an advocator of like spending money. Well,
Right.
no, not spending money, just like using like credit cards, I guess.
I don't blame
I
you.
spend too much money. It's bad. But
You ever realize though
it-
that's how it is though? Is that
that's
like
just
you're
how it is,
watching you're
bro.
watching like that preview video,
bro,
and
I'm
you're
just
like,
telling you, if Sam Ash offers 0% APR for 36 months on something that I could pay only $20 a month for, you bet your ass I'm gonna get it because I can. Like, oh man, I'm all about it, and I'm gonna pay it off even faster because I'm gonna pay more than $20 a month.
Sam Ash isn't sponsoring us, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or Sweetwater.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
well.
guys. So, oh well.
I mean, you can.
You can. Yeah. Check
I
me
shop
out,
at
6 Feet Shooter
Musician's
on Instagram.
Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah, no, but I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for Sweetwater and that amazingly well, done video, my girlfriend wouldn't have been like, "Let's get this right away," and we got it like seemingly like a month after it was released, and like I've been checking it out, and now people are really starting to get it after like Christmas and whatnot. So it's cool. Not that I've had as much time as I'd want with it, but it's crazy. That thing is crazy. It samples into it. You could sample into it. You could loop with it. It's like a looper, not a loop station, but a looper. And then each pad has looping capabilities in itself. And like, like I said, you could sample into it, which is really cool. You could plug in a fucking USB like to it to upload anything you want to it. You could use it as an interface, as an audio interface, or just the MIDI control. It's dope.
That's
It's a
awesome.
it's a dope thing, that a complete game changer to any drummer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have the multi-pad, right?
Right.
So you can what can you do with that? You can load stuff into it, right?
Yeah, there's like the 32 gigabyte SD card that I have.
Right.
I got for it, and
Right.
I just load it into my laptop. I load the samples and stuff I want onto
Yep,
it.
and boom.
Boom, right in there.
Right on it. And
Yep.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could do more than that. Like, I mean, can you replay, or is it just one shot kind of shit?
It depends. There is mono, poly,
Mono and poly,
and
right?
then loop.
Right.
There's other options, but it's more like hi-hat and like stuff like you want to set to like different pedals.
Right.
But yeah, those are the three I remember.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, there's crazy controls on the Strike. I looked into the regular releases multi-pad, but there's still certain things that I wish this freaking technology, just like read my mind already and just make the music from my mind. Why aren't we there already?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's like start writing letters to Elisa. It's like, so I noticed that this feature is not on the Strike pad. Why?
So I notice I'm still going to have to spend another $500 on a different piece of equipment to use with this to achieve what I'm trying to. Like, and mastering one, like that's the crazy part about this. It really isn't as easy as just getting the equipment. Like, you got to learn how to use this fucking shit. Like, it's not like that simple.
There's
Like,
there's
which
always a learning curve.
Thank God. Otherwise, we would be like completely out of business. Not that we're in business right now, but fuck,
We're in semi business.
we're in we'd be screwed. We'd be completely screwed. But it would still be nice to have that sort of equipment.
Yeah.
Like
So
those capabilities.
early adopter of the Strike pad.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty stoked. I've already actually made some stuff. One of the songs that I brought, I did some stuff with it. What song was it? What tracks did
I've
you
got
bring?
Foon
Spools.
Spulls here, and
Right.
then LCBTR.
That one. There's a part of it. There's one element of it that I made with the Strike pad that I couldn't wait. Like, I really couldn't wait to I almost got the Strike pad just for this one sound, just for
Right.
this one utilized feature, and I was like, oh yes, it's perfect.
Since we're on the subject, should we listen to
Yeah.
that song?
If you want to hear it, now preface, this isn't mixed down, so be easy on me with that criticism, but everything else you can be as harsh as you want.
We're all for early demos here.
Yes.
This is like the never before seen, listen of a song.
Exclusive.
Word.
Yeah.
So this one it will probably, on my EP, will probably be called like Cafeteria Cartel or some shit.
That's a dope name.
Should we not release this until a certain point?
Oh no, it's cool. If
Oh, okay.
somebody really wants to rip it from this, like, by all means. If you think it's that cool, fuck yeah.
If
This
you want
isn't
to
even mixed down yet, so fuck yeah.
if every 10 seconds you want to just yell your own watermark over the
Yeah,
track.
exactly.
6-speed shooter.
I got this. My boy Doug Lito. He has Lito Beats, right? And
Mhm.
shout out Lito. Like, anybody listening to this, check him out. LitoBeats.com. Great producer, probably best local producer in town. His tag mark is this like really sexy girl sound, and it's like Lito Beats.
I remember that.
Yeah, dude, it's so good though. Like, it doesn't sound like me, but yeah, like, I'm gonna do like Meho Beats.
There you go. All right.
I like the
so
6-speed shooter thing though. That's cool.
That is
That's cool.
that's a great name.
Yeah.
So what may be Cafeteria Cartel?
Yes.
Here we go.
gosh.
Yeah.
4 things.
Four things.
Loved it.
lay it
I'm with
on.
you on
Thanks,
that.
bro. Thank you.
I can't say anything else, but loved it. Second thing, the beginning kind of reminded me of the Cat's Motel theme from Courage the Cowardly Dog for some reason.
Cool.
Loved that. I don't know why. Don't know why.
That's I'll tell you some background. That's dope.
Okay.
Dope.
Third thing.
Mhm.
Also, I believe that was like a marching snare in the background, which
Yes.
sounded
Yes,
really
sir.
cool. And I
Yes,
love
sir.
that too. And 4, when are we gonna play together?
Yeah. That's dope.
I
That's dope. I'm
especially love that
glad you liked
marching
it.
snare because I was like waving my hand in the air, and he was thinking like I'm just doing this. Like
Yeah.
I
just
thought
like,
he was trying to high five.
oh,
was-
I'm not.
yeah.
I don't want to
No.
high five
I was
you.
like, give
but-
him all the
Yeah.
high five. Like, I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
I was just noticing how that
pan.
it panned
Yeah,
from
yeah.
left to right and kept going back and
It's
forth.
worth it. Like listening to with the headphones. It's like seriously worth it. Like actually on my podcast, I always say like hashtag listen with headphones. Like always, because just like you're gonna catch a lot of things that these producers like you don't hear on the radio. Like there's a lot of pop producers, a lot of pop songs that like you listen to with these headphones. Like just listen to the actual album version. Like there's like little things like that. It's so like appealing. There's like texture to it and whatnot, and like just a simple pan from left to right can really like give depth to a part. You know, like to a specific dynamic, because that was just the same thing over and over. It's like hip hop. You know, like it's a rap beat, so like you really shouldn't do much to change it. You know, and you don't hear movements with rap songs. You don't hear verse, pre-chorus, bridge, chorus. You know, like there's not that sort of structure. It's verse, chorus. Maybe there's like a little line that's like a pre-chorus almost, you know, like, hey, this is that one thing that he almost repeated in the last verse, you know, that's right at the end that we know that the chorus is coming up, but that's the closest thing to a pre-chorus. So I tried to like almost like use the panning and stuff like as like dynamic for different parts of the song. So it use, you know, like it makes the second verse a little bit more different, or it gives depth to the bridge, because that drop like right there, if you look at the waveform where it's like, you know, just really skinny at the end, that's when all that weird crazy shit goes. But like I treat that as like the bridge of the song, like if I'm gonna really think about it, you know, like that. So yeah, I took a lot of time like doing that. It's not mixed down, so it's like it's probably clipping like crazy. But I took a lot of time into that, so I'm glad that you noticed that. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
And the marching snare, that's what I use the strike with. So I have like a real marching snare that I've been wanting to use for the longest time, but my studio isn't treated. My like room isn't treated well for that, so it's just loud as fuck, and like just no matter what, I can't get like a good crisp sound. So yeah, I saw the Sweetwater video and saw that there was like a drum corps like thing, and I was like, oh my god, there's a fucking marching snare like preloaded on this. Get the fuck out! I'm getting this, like hell yeah, and I'm gonna use it on a song because I love Travis Barker. Like he's like
Yeah.
my favorite drummer.
Mhm.
He's one of my favorite like producers. If we're gonna like talk producers and stuff, he's a dope fucking song producer. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Travis, like he's got some ideas on him. Like
From Blink
from Blink,
182,
from Blink, yeah, dude. Like mad shout out to that guy. And like I completely bit off of him. Like if you listen to any like of Travis Barker, like super like bomb ass like banging beats, he's got that marching snare, you know, that's like right in the background.
He
Like
played marching snare in high
oh
school,
yeah,
I think,
yeah. He was supposed to like I'm like fanboy, like fangirl pretty much. Like I know everything about him. It's kind of creepy. Yeah. He was supposed to try out for the DCI, the drum corps.
Really?
Yeah, and instead of going to those tryouts or auditions or whatever,
Yeah.
he went on tour with a punk band. And let's see what paid off more. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no kidding.
Yeah, I think he chose the right path.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and then like with his hip hop beats, dude, he's got that marching snare, and he's thrown it into some like Blink stuff, like much later Blink stuff. But yeah, his hip hop stuff, he incorporates that marching snare. And when I heard the marching snare on the strike and realized that I could bypass the mic like issues and just go direct, oh my god, I had so much fun recording that part.
Oh yeah.
Like
Were you in band in school at all?
no, well, I was like Nick Cannon, but didn't make it past the first couple weeks because I was like, "What? I'm going on pit? It doesn't matter how good I could play. Like since I don't know how to read, I'm getting fucked." Welp, I was like the only junior that was going to be on pit. Now I understand, ninth grade, 10th grade, but I was like the only junior. There was no like freshmen or there was no seniors at that time.
Yeah.
So like the juniors were like the top dogs, and it's like, oh fuck. And I was like literally like the untrained one. I could play drums with all the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Not very well in high school, but I could still play drums with the rest of the guys. And like, yeah, since I didn't know how to read, this stuck me on pit, and it discouraged me. So instead of going to band at the end of the day, I would skip school during the day and go to my friends' garages and play punk rock.
Nice.
And that's the history of me of
That's-
my high school career.
See, it was like it was really fortunate for me because in high school I was in pit my sophomore year,
Right.
and then my junior year the tenor player had left, and I wanted to play tenors. I was like, I want to play the quads.
Right.
That's what I'm going to try out for. And it was between me and another kid, and we were both playing, and the other kid was like, never mind, I'm stepping down. He was like, I'm not doing it anymore. So I got to play my junior and senior year on
That's
quads,
dope.
and
That's dope.
it was not a lot of kids joined drumline at my school. So like
It was weird because like in high school for me, that's right when drumline was like starting to be really cool. Not because of the movie, right? But it was just like this weird movement that was going on, and I think it's because our football team sucked. And like we actually had like some talented like people, and like it seemed like talent shows got cool because the snare line like just started joining talent shows and started hitting like buckets and like unconventional things, but doing the same exact cadences, like same shit.
Yeah.
And like everybody would flip shit, so it like suddenly gets cool to be in band. And then drumline comes out, like, and I was in high school when drumline came out. I don't know how old you guys are, right? What was it called, drumline with Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, so that was like mid high school, like right around that time. Like actually, fucking when I was in 11th grade, when I tried out for all of that shit, it just
Right.
happened to coincide with my life, and I felt so fucking discouraged that like because these were my friends too. Like the captain of the entire drum line was like a friend of mine. Like
Right.
we were all like homies and like would jam and stuff. But nope, I just wasn't good enough. Like I thought I would have been good enough.
That's insane.
Yeah, but it's cool. It led me to where I was, and honestly, all that cool snare shit that you hear, super cheating. It's all just a double stroke. I took a double stroke and I fucked it up. Like that's all I did. Oh no. Double strokes and then like ending on like just two singles. But that's it. It's just a real simple nothing. It just sounds cool with all the effects and stuff, like and the layering and like this and that. But yeah, I'm glad that you noticed that. I'm glad that you dug that.
Oh, yeah.
Similar story for me. So I never went to high school. I was homeschooled.
Right.
And my last experience in like an actual public school was elementary.
Whoa.
And they had bands back then, and like, growing up as a kid, I mean, drums was it. That's what you wanted to play. That
Yep.
was cool.
Yep, that was the loud one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I
Well,
was
you know
begging my dad.
why it was also cool, honestly? Because you didn't have to fucking think about notes. All you had to do was just hit shit.
Oh no, they
Like-
made me think about notes. It was bad.
Yeah, like like that was the appeal to drums for me. It was like, oh, I can get all the same attention and not have to think about like finger placement or like being off key. Like you hit the wrong thing, hit it again, and then it doesn't seem like a mistake.
Yeah, so
That's about it. Like literally you hit the wrong fret. Everyone's gonna hear it. I hit the floor tom instead of the rock tom. Oh lordy, it's a lower note. It's like nobody. It's discernible.
he's improvising.
Yeah,
it's
like,
amazing.
oh, no, yeah.
This is so much better
It's
than the
actually
recording.
better. It actually turns out better. Like yeah. So like that was the appeal for drums for me. At least like when we were all made to in school, because in 6th grade like we had like the music class and everybody wanted to be picked for drums. because we didn't have to read music for it. Like we needed to read beats, not like real music. So it's like,
So
oh, please just pick the drums. I don't want to be on piano. I don't want to be on flute. I don't want to be on, recorder. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
yeah, so I think mine was like probably fourth grade, and yeah, you're right. You had to read beats.
Yep.
I started off on snare, and my teacher. Okay, some backstory here. This was a private Christian school.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so you had to wear the
And
uniforms and
what
everything.
state was this in?
This was in Arizona,
Arizona.
and yeah, my
The desert Christians.
my oh yeah. It was pretty bad. So my music teacher, she was a total hard ass.
Mm.
Like seriously, she would scream at the children like before the school play.
Oh wow.
Come on,
Like
kids, you gotta fucking get this right.
it's like
Now
that
let us
movie. It's
pray.
like that movie Whiplash. Have you ever
Oh
seen
Oh,
that
I
movie?
love that
jeez,
movie.
I haven't seen that movie.
I've only seen previews, and I'm like scared. Like
Yeah.
I like cried
should
from the
be. You
previews.
should be.
Like yeah, there's a whole movie with that. There's 2 hours of that. Oh my god, that's traumatizing.
My worst experience in this class, and keep in mind, this was before I learned violin, before I learned anything about music, how to read music, how to count music. They stuck me on bass drum, and I was just trying to play along the
Was
best I
it
could.
just one bass drum?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just me.
Okay.
And I was playing along the best I could. I could not read the sheet music in front of me, so and no one cared to explain it to me. Obviously, the teacher would pick on me because I knew the least amount of knowledge about it in the class, right?
Right.
So eventually, everybody's playing, and they all just kind of stop, and then everybody's silent. Then they all just look towards me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I look down at my sheet music, and I see like just how the notes are not lining up. And I'm thinking to myself,
no.
let me try hitting the drum. And I just go boom. And then everybody starts playing again. And I was like,
You
like,
did it.
no lie, there was like 10, 15 seconds of silence.
They
as
were,
they were waiting
for you,
me.
bro. Just that one note.
That was literally it. So like, yeah, that I had a really
Oh.
bad band experience growing up.
That's
but-
funny. You just brought back like a flashback of when I actually tried out in the band, right? So there was the captain, right? And then the next best player, right? Like literally the captain was like he got all state always. He was like supreme maximum everything, and like he won awards like outside of like school. He was like the top drummer like in our age category. Like if you were to enter contests and like enter legit shit, he was always like ranked number 1. Like he was the shit. And then we had number 2 to him, right? Literally number 2. They went to the same, like got taught by the same teacher. This fucking teacher was like Yoda of drums, like in this area. Every single student that went under this guy has some chops on them. Like it's crazy. Like
What's his name?
Keon, did you go to school around here?
I know Keon.
Yeah, dude, Mr. Keon. Like, yeah, like he is the Yoda of drumming.
Because there's Keon and the director at Mitchell High School.
Right,
And
who's
I
the director at
think-
Mitchell?
I don't think they're the same person. I
Oh.
always get their names mixed up. But
Right.
Mr. Keon.
Right. He was at Hudson.
I can't think of his name. It's like very similar, and I can never remember.
Keena.
Yes.
Joel Keena. That's exactly who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Joel Keena. I went to high school with him, and like we were like buddies and stuff. And then right under him was this guy named Ryan Hewling. I was really good friends with Ryan. That's how I like got in. Ryan's actually he's a drummer for Josh. Man, what's his last name? This is a local band that's around here. That's really dope. Like
what genre?
like rock, old
Okay.
school rock. You know, like just rock. A bunch of covers and just like
We'll
real
figure this out.
Yeah. I can't believe. Oh man, shame on me for forgetting his last name. But Ryan was the one that got me like into the idea of like being legit and like doing real drums and stuff, like learning the real stuff.
Yeah.
And Joel, you know, was our friend and everything. And
Mhm.
Ryan was like, "Oh, dude, you're a great drummer. You know, you'll get into it. I got you, bro. I got you." Right. Now there's me. I'm a little guy. I was way smaller in high school. Right. Ryan knew that I didn't, you know, read music, and I was like, "Cool, no problem. There's no room for you on snare anyways, because there was only 3 slots for snare. Cool." and no way that I'm gonna play quads because I don't read music, you
Mhm.
know. So throw me on bass. Got this, dude. I'm a little dude. First base. I'm first in line. All I gotta read is the first note, you know. Like I got this.
Yeah.
I like prepared. There was a little sophomore that like girl that knew how to read music, and she got first base
Oof.
Oh man.
because she was smaller than me, and I got stuck with second base,
Oh.
which is statistically the hardest fucking one. Second and fourth, if you have a line of 5, second and fourth, those guys, if you're off, you're fucked. But fourth at least can wait for number 2 to fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it just doesn't get to you. So you know, pressure's off. You know, so at least you got
Crazy.
that. But dude, I got stuck on second base during auditions and like completely assed it up. Completely assed
Okay.
it up, and that's why I was thrown on pit.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy you went to school with him.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Joel. You know, it's funny. Like, I would love to play drums with Joel now because, like, I sucked so bad back then, and Joel was so good, but he was so technically like, I don't want to say like immobilized, but like, I remember hearing a story from them. It was like right after we graduated, and Joel was like, "Hey guys, you've heard of Green Day, right?" So it's just like he was like in the hole. Like he didn't really like he knew Dave Matthews Band in high school, and that was like his favorite band, and he knew every single note that Carter played on the drums. But outside of that, pop culturally, like he was not cultured like whatsoever. So like he didn't even know how to be creative. That's what I'm pretty much saying. Like as far as I saw, you know, now homeboy, like he's got mad creds on him. I would just love to play with him now that we're older and we know what creativity is and stuff. You know, like we've learned more because like he was a monster then. I could only imagine what it is now.
It's crazy the connections because
Yep, it's a small town, dude.
I went to Gulf High School.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was in the drum line there. There's a lot of people I've met, like alumni and stuff. There's a guy named Davis Lafferty. He
Right.
was the drum captain while Joel was the drum captain at Mitchell.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of stories from him. There was always a very like friendly, evil relationship. between the two of them.
Everybody was like rivals with Joel because Joel always got like superior. Like literally, like honestly, me personally, I think Ryan Hewling
Mhm.
was better, but it was always Ryan was just always that second place. He was the Vegeta to Joel that was Goku.
Right.
Like it was like, yeah, dude, legends. Like I heard kids from other schools, like other drum lines, like, oh, Joel fucking Kina. Joel fucking Kina. Like
Yeah,
that-
but that's crazy because he's the director now at Mitchell.
yeah, he's the director at Mitchell. Yeah, he's been he did that over at River Ridge at our school, and then went over to Mitchell, and is now like the director. And I can't fucking believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The guy played, if I'm not mistaken, like was asked to play drums behind Paul McCartney or like a band that was playing for Paul McCartney's like son's graduation or some shit.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And then Paul McCartney got like asked to go up there and play a couple songs, and
Of
Joel
course.
happened to be the drummer. From what I was told, that's the story. And once again, I haven't seen Joel since they went to college, pretty much.
Right.
So so it would be nice to like talk to him and like and just play drums with him. I'd love to be critiqued and tell me what I'm doing wrong now, Joel, because I'm not a punk ass fucking 16-year-old.
Any other drummers in the area that you
That like I'm like, oh my god.
well, yeah,
That I
or
would
just
recommend?
that you respect?
Oh,
on,
dude, like, you know,
on a
I
professional
respect
level?
almost every single drummer that I've met. Like, it's weird. There's a weird complex or a stereotype that drummers have this like complex and whatnot. But I think like I don't know. Throughout the years, it kind of broke. Like, it seems like the complex was only around if you were in fucking high school and you had an ego. But
Mhm.
once like we all break that and we realize that we're all just musicians expressing ourselves,
Mhm.
like, and everybody has their strong points, it's like it's all cool. It's kind of like what we were talking about with like the whole anime thing. Like back in the day, like back in like the 90s and the early 2000s, it was okay to like have like the top dog, the Goku and the Vegeta, you know, the best and then the second best, and then nobody else fucking matters, right?
Right.
And then we started realizing later on, like, there's individual things like how do we really gauge who's the best, right?
Mhm.
So now there's like all these different ways that we could look at it. And now there's new animes where there's not just like two guys that are fucking badass. There's a whole a whole universe of badass like people, that there's like just depth and like I don't know, it kind of like broke that after high school. It turned into, instead of the Joel Keena and the Ryan Hewling, it's like now there's like all these different metal drummers, like, and now there's all these different jazz drummers, and there's all these different, like, there's so much different stuff to consider, like, and if everybody was like on the same plane genre wise, I guess like I could probably like rank people, and I guess the ego would be there like for the stereotypical drummer, but nah, dude, like there's so many. Every single drummer that I've met is so fucking respectable, is so like such a cool like person, and like no matter what their skill level is, like like even if they don't have like that like great of a rep personally, right?
Right.
When it comes to like just drumming and stuff, when it just comes to drumming and stuff, like we're all like really just on the same team. Like
Hell
it's
yeah.
it's like really like say for instance, there's like Joey Aceto, right? Fucking, he's great. He's a fucking great drummer. Me and him played a show one time where we did the same thing. It was kind of somewhat embarrassing for Joey because Joey never did that kind of stuff. But if you threw me at a metal show with Joey, oh my God, I would be like the laughing stock of everything.
Mm.
So it's like, like likewise, like we all have our own thing. Like Joey's like fucking dope at what he does, and like I don't know, every single drummer that I've met, the drummer of Tower 7, really cool fucking dude.
Mhm.
He's got some like a really cool groove, really cool ideas. You guys know who Roger LaFrani is?
The name sounds familiar.
He's the best damn drummer fucking this side of the East Coast, probably. Like for real, I would probably put him up in the state. I know there's a lot of people in the state, but in like our age bracket, I would say Roger's like the best. He could like seriously, he could. I would love to see Roger versus Joel. That's fucking Goku versus Broly right there, dude. I'm telling you, like it's like what?
Let's get it set up.
Let's get it set up. I wish. Oh, in a perfect world, we
Be
could
like
do
the
that.
Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich.
Bro, it's like Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich, like straight up, dude. No, actually, it would be more like the Buddy Rich and Ed Shaughnessy.
Ed Shaughnessy?
Yeah, like it would be like that. Like, let's go. Like the fabric of time is fucking breaking right in the middle of this drum solo. Like, oh God.
I had one other notable experience with a drummer other than you where we just clicked.
Right.
And that was with Doug over at the Verona.
Yeah. Doug's great.
He is,
Doug,
yeah.
Doug's, man, that guy pulls some fucking shit out of his sleeves. Like, I never expected him to be as good as like what he is, and he like adapts, dude. That guy adapts.
I got up on stage. It was open mic night, and I brought my laptop with me. And after he asked me like, "Hey, is it cool if I play with you?" I'm like, "Shit, sure. It's open mic. Why not?" So I put on like a Dua Lipa song.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, dude, you play Dua Lipa?" And he just goes at it. I'm like,
Yeah.
half the time I'm just turning around looking at it like, what?
Yeah, Doug's my boy, man. He's hopping on a lot of like the same stuff that I'm doing too. Like from what I've seen, what I'm seeing at least. Like he's got like his own like show going on. Like he's filling up space, just like him playing drums, probably behind tracks. I don't know. I just saw that like on a show flyer that he was just on. It was just Doug Conrad. I was like, what? So that's pretty cool, man. The guy's stellar. So I don't know. Every drummer, I would recommend every drummer. Like I would recommend every musician as long as you're not an asshole.
Fair
Like
enough.
to be honest, man. Yeah, I'm just that kind of guy. I'm also not a very good example for gauging like reputation because I have this like stigma of being nice and nobody fucking hates me for some weird reason. So I'm just cool with everybody. If they're cool with me, I'm cool with you. Like people could talk so much shit about so many of the different people that I talk to, but I'm like just like in the middle. I'm just that guy that knows everybody that nobody has a problem with, I guess. So I'm cool with every musician in the scene, dude. I haven't really I've come across one sour grape, dude. That's about it. We won't even mention his name. He's not even from this area.
We don't mention names on the show.
And he doesn't even matter. No, the only names we mention are good ones, like the ones that we said.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. So yeah. I'm gray, bro. I'm gray. I'm all about the love.
I want to move on and talk about your next song.
Yeah.
So we have another song here, Foonspools.
Yeah, Foonspools. I think I'm gonna call this one Blue Fire and Cactus Juice. I don't know why I didn't rename the the file.
Blue fire and cactus juice.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of makes me think of like I was like, I don't know. It made me think of a really funny like biblical scene for some weird reason. I don't really know why,
Interesting.
but I thought of like this like satirical like check this out, Mr. Artist Ghostman listening. Ready? Check this out. I picture the scene where it's like in the desert and it's like kind of cartoony and there's a campfire and it's blue fire and there's cactus, right? But they have like holes in their face, like to make like, like a face, like kind of like Digimon, like those cactus, like that one.
Oh, that one.
And yeah, that one. And they're just like sitting around and they're like tripping around the fire, like what the fuck, like looking at their hands and shit, all spiky and shit. And then in the background where cactus would be are just like people like in their underwear, just like standing there like
Oh,
a
so it's
cactus.
like opposite.
Yeah,
like,
so it's opposite, but they're like tripping the fuck out, like what the fuck, and it has to be blue fire because it's like like it's a weird biblical reference because I was thinking about like those people and like the fire and everything that they fucking wrote down and possibly the peyote that they were on, like not to be
And
offensive, but
Jordan
like,
is on it.
yeah, bam, he's on it.
Here's the stalker. that
Commission.
We forgot to.
Yes, we got the
introduce.
ghost in the side.
The ghost.
Sorry, I broke that wall. That's this song. Yep, that's this song. Oh, he's putting on the headphones.
We are switching. So yeah, we didn't introduce him, but Jordan, our fact checker from the last episode, he did such a good job.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and yeah, he was actually he is a talented artist.
You should check him out. Jordan Fryer Art, right? I want to make sure that's right.
Dude, I'm trying to make a new one because the one I have is way too old.
Don't be so modest.
It works.
But,
Hey man, it works.
But yeah, all right. So we'll get listened to.
He's commissioned. He's commissioned, and hopefully, if we could get a rendering of this drawing that he'll draw of this, I will use this as the album art when I post this on all of my various
Oh, that's
things.
awesome.
We'll just get a
That
decent
would
rendering
be
of it.
cool.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. All right, let's get to it.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Very
there's
nice.
a gradual
man.
automation down. So
I am really impressed by the layering in that
Oh,
song,
thank you.
especially.
Thank you.
About halfway through, I noticed.
The low end come in.
Yes, the
I
low end.
particularly did that on purpose, like, to be honest, dude, because if there would have been any low end in the beginning, it would have completely diluted all of those other low ends that are technically there.
I
Now,
agree with you.
another
yeah.
preface, this is not mixed down. This is not mixed down. So there's like a
Sounds
lot of
fine to
clipping.
us.
Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah.
clipping. It probably sounds good on the headphones. On maybe a phone, it might translate a little weird. But yeah, that's like, yeah, I needed to throw that low end like later on because all those other parts wouldn't have like really.
I can
Like,
definitely
yeah.
see the image that you were.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
I
sitting
can-
around a campfire,
Jordan's
just like,
over here working on it.
fuck.
That's awesome.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, and it's funny. I wanted to mention for the last one of the elements that you talked about, right? When I was building that last the very first track, right, with my boy, he had this idea of just like throwing in like weird sounds, just like almost unpleasing, like
Yeah, I heard that.
yeah, just like weird shit. And his name is Black Mage. So and he like stylizes it after, like, if you were to name yourself like Black Mage on like a Final Fantasy game, like it's
Okay.
just BLK MGE, like it's just like the standard, that's it.
Yep.
So it's pretty sweet. And I was just like thinking, for like his tracks, like it should have some weird sounds. Like I'm calling them like the mage's spells. Like they're just like little things that like you would either hear like in a video game or just like, oh, that sounds like a little, from a wand or some shit,
Yeah.
like so I started with that, and I just kind of rolled with that for every single song. Like after that, I enjoy like making that kind of shit. So in every single song, like there's that some weird unpleasing, like if you were to just listen to it by itself, it's just like a dumb pattern of a weird sound. Like just
Yeah.
over and over. Like but that
There's
and-
your sampling,
yeah,
man.
but that's what I build the songs off of.
Right.
So that's like and then I try to like throw in just like a weird theme of like of just video game magic, and of course the arpeggiator, the like that's
Yeah.
I use that like element. I try to use it in every single song, but like differently. So like whether it's a low end, whether it's a melody or a lead part or just like ambient background. Like I try to use some sort of arpeggiation and then some sort of dumb sounds. Like yeah, so that's what I'm building it off of. So I guess that's what like 6-speed shooter is so far. Like if I were to explain that, and not that anybody asked, but but I remember you brought that up for the last song, and I wanted to bring it up for this one because it was like yeah, just those elements. I really enjoy the fact that people are noticing that, because to me, I didn't know that people like could hear that like kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, good looks on criticizing me. Appreciate it, especially since you like it.
So where can we hear you?
Right now I'm on SoundCloud. I just created it, so there's like 3 tracks on there. And I'm slowly just releasing them as I get album art, like legit album art, and also as I mix it down. So SoundCloud, you could hear me. You could hear practically every track that I've made on my podcast. I do a podcast. It's called Wicked Hoe, WIKIDHOE. And you can find that on Mixcloud.com.
Very cool.
Or yeah,
Awesome.
Mixcloud, yeah. And we feature like songs, and if you dig through everything, like there's every track that I've made is on the podcast.
I was
So-
a guest on the Wicked Hoe a few months ago.
yeah, it was awesome.
That
Actually,
was a really fun
I've gotten
experience.
a lot of feedback from that just because of the like live aspect of it. Because we play songs and it's like cool, but it's like neat hearing that caliber, like I guess, or like that sort of response from someone that's live. Like they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that was live." Like
It's a different experience.
yeah, it was really fucking cool. And we're gonna be like hitting like a season 2, if you want to call it. I don't know.
Okay.
But we're gonna be recycling all of our guests. So
I would love to be back.
I will be hitting you up, and if you want to be in on
Oh,
it too,
absolutely.
dude.
I
and
would
just
love to.
bring the whole musician's couch like up
The-
on that.
We'll
The
we'll
wicked
bring the
couch.
couch.
the wicked couch. There we go.
The wicked couch. I
The
like
wicked
that.
couch, bro. It's set. It is set. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
I'm all
absolutely.
about it.
Wicked Couch 2019.
2019.
That's great.
Yeah, and we got that
Very
name
cool.
because of the other person that's in it. He's my cousin. His DJ name is Wicked Ill, and then of course I'm Meho, so that's why we got
Oh, okay.
Wicked Ho. Yeah. It was just a temporary name that we just were like, okay, fuck it. Nobody's gonna care about our podcast anyways.
That's exactly how we felt. Like, seriously. So, yeah, Lane kind of held me to this. He mentioned to me one day, I always wanted to start a podcast. I'm like, hey, me too. And it's like, it was one of those fleeting things. It's like, well, I never stick to an idea.
Right.
And that's probably one of my greatest faults. So he calls me up and he starts, bugging me, nagging me. He's like, so when are we starting the podcast? When are we starting the podcast? I'm like,
Yeah, when we get together.
I'm like, wait, you're actually holding me to this?
Yeah. Dude.
Wait, I actually have to do something I promised someone else to do?
That's what I did
So-
to Jordan. That's what I'm doing to you.
It's pretty
yeah.
empowering. I'm not gonna lie, because that's exactly what happened with us too. We made a habit of getting together every Tuesday, me, my cousin, and another musician that we no longer work with, and we were trying to take ourselves as seriously as possible and try to make every Tuesday production day, and if we didn't crank out a song that Tuesday, we were completing the song that we were trying to crank out the last week,
Mhm.
and just like really trying to flex our production skills. And we had a whole big conglomerate idea, and then it crashed really fast. And the week that we were supposed to get together, me and Chris are just like, it's still me and Chris, and we're just like, fuck it, you want to do that podcast idea that we like threw out like a couple months ago? Like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking record a podcast. And we did it. We just fucking did it. And since then, it's been like a really like, not necessarily like life-changing experience, but it's been like a real nice attitude like adjuster, and it helps me like follow through with my commitments a lot more,
Mhm.
because I'm not just typing it out on Facebook for it to get lost. I'm not like 2019 is going to be the greatest year ever. I'm going to do so much. Like if I say it on the podcast,
It's official.
it's like official. Even if nobody listens to it, it's just that tangible, like, ugh. Everybody hears the context of my tone. It's not just words. 2019 is going to be great. I'm going to do great things. That could mean anything, But when when you hear it like from the actual voice, and it's like chronicled, like there's like that data. Yeah, dude, like I feel like I'm talking shit if I don't follow through with it. So all the songs that I have is all because of the podcast. I've been trying to fucking produce songs for years, and I have like maybe 3 songs over the past 5 years that I'm like really proud of, and I've only sat down on my computer like a handful of times. Like that's it. So since the podcast, I've dished out like 6-7 songs, which is like still not a lot compared to what producers are putting out, but I am proud of every single track. Like there's not like one that's just like, I'm not going to release this. Like every single one I'm super proud of. Every single one took me only a couple hours to really like make. And then it's just like, it's taken a month or 2 to like mix down, because I'm trying to be legit and trying to, do everything like proper. So, it's still taking time, but it's just making me feel like so like more motivated and like more true to my convictions, I guess. Once again, just
Absolutely.
because, yeah, it's really crazy, and I urge this medium to fucking everybody, even if it's just like them by themselves as like a diary, like the YouTube vlogs and stuff, like that vlogging, like this shit is like it's cool because it's just so much more. It feels so much more real when it's recorded
Mhm.
rather than written down, because things that can be written down can easily be deleted, even though like this could easily be erased too, or just not posted. But once it is and it's out there on the internet, and somebody has a chance to just like keep it for themselves, or like copy it or screenshot it or whatever, like it becomes more a part of the world, man. And
Yeah.
like if it's just written down in a diary, who else is going to read that? And sometimes ink, that shit fades, like the pencil marks fade, like if you're using pencil, like, and who fucking writes nowadays anyways? Like
No matter how small scale it is, this is still broadcasting.
it's broadcast.
This is
Yeah, absolutely.
journalism in a form,
Right. Yep.
and that's very important.
Right. Yeah. It's personal. I mean, like if we were to upload this, right, and some super intelligent being comes to Earth, right, and like hacks our system to get all of our data to learn everything about us,
They would learn what couches are.
they're gonna learn, bro. They're gonna learn a lot of good stuff, a lot of the correct data, I think, because of this like medium, like and how it's utilized in the internet. So it's really fucking cool. And just hearing how you stumbled upon it and like comparing it with my story, anybody else listening, if you have like any sort of interest and just want to talk, fucking do a podcast.
Go
Like
for
it's
it.
it's
Yeah.
so fucking good. It's such a good outlet. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck who listens to it at the end of the day, right? I always tell every single guest that comes throughout my podcast, at the end of it, I'm like, hey, that was a lot of fun. I don't care if anybody hears this. I'm going to listen to it, right? And like Chris is going to listen to it, so there's going to be 2 listens, right? And if nobody else hears it, I don't give a fuck because I could drop dead tomorrow. And here's all of this like data. Like I could grow old and get like and go senile. And now here's all like memories, like shit, like opinions that I had that I could think of. Even if I don't get dementia and go senile, like fucking 10 years from now, oh my God, I can't believe I thought like this. Like I thought a certain way when I was 16.
Yeah.
Imagine if we would have had real recordings of us saying the dumb shit that we thought that we said. Yeah, and now we actually have the dumb shit that we were saying,
Exactly.
It's like our generation's version of a family photo.
It's really awesome because it's so much more than, like a photo speaks 1,000 words. Well, I guess this little piece of data, this like, whatever you want to, however big the sound bite is, or this file is,
Yeah.
that it's
Speaks
a
volumes.
volumes, bro, volumes, decibels. Yeah, it's really cool. And and it's just like it's good to have for personal shit, just for yourself, like for your family even too, like if you were to drop dead, everybody has your, like good memories.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fucking cool. I can't wait to show my grandkids like all this and like me talking about LSD on my fucking podcast, like and like all my crazy times and stuff, like and once again my opinions, because like I actually just came up with this idea. No more New Year's resolutions, right? No more New Year's resolutions. Fuck this, guys. We need to drop this shit. At the beginning of the year, ask yourself a question, answer it, right? And then ask yourself that question every fucking day and see if it changes by the end of the year. At the end of the year, answer that same question and see if it's the same.
See how much you've changed.
See how much you fucking changed, dude. New Year's reflection,
That's really
not New Year's
good.
resolution. Fuck that. That's what we
New
came up with
Year's
that.
reflection.
New Year's reflection. Yeah. And what better way to do it than podcasting? That's a real simple way than writing down your, dear diary.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. Yep. It's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
We're still in our early stages of this, and we
Absolutely.
we learn as we go along. We've made some mistakes before. We work on it, and you know what? We're always getting better at this. So you're right.
Absolutely. And you see progress, dude.
Mhm.
Like episode 20 of Wicked Ho compared to episode fucking 4. Like, oh my God, it's like so different. There's so much progress. And it's really gratifying seeing that. It's just like working out. And this isn't for everybody, just like working out isn't for everybody. Or like playing in a team sport isn't for everybody, But this
Right.
is a really fucking good social exercise. I'll tell you what. Seems good for the brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
I'm
All
so
right.
glad we
So
did
have
this.
we hit that hour mark?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I do this every week, so
I honestly can't wait to bring Lane back, and we'll get
it's
on
gonna be a
the
good time.
Wicked
I
Ho.
can't wait to be back on this in the future if you guys ever want me. So
absolutely
I totally appreciate
bring
it.
some more music, and you
Appreciate
know
the
what?
plugs.
We've collaborated in the past before live
Absolutely.
many times, and
Absolutely.
I'd love
There's
to
gonna be more.
I'd love to get that down in recording too.
Yes, let's do it. I'm all about the collab and love, bro. So
I've got. I just added you to a group chat that you're probably not going to want to be in, but
Just
I'm
mute it.
I'm a part of so many. I'm a part of so many already.
Just mute it.
I'm a mercenary drummer, so like I know all about it.
yeah. So
I know the
Musical
politics.
mercenary.
yeah, I've got
Yes.
a bunch of musicians in there. It was originally for like just some kind of project, some kind of idea, but it just happened to be a bunch of musicians showed up in that podcast. And
Dope.
I just want everybody to collab. I feel like without connections, how are you going to get anywhere?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I passed that idea down to you a few months back. Not necessarily a band, but a loose collective.
Right. Yep.
And that's slowly what this is turning into.
Yeah, man. Damon Albarn, that shit. That's what Damon Albarn has, like with the
Fuck
whole
yeah.
Gorillas, like that whole mentality. So as long as no egos are attached, it's all just creativity and
Yeah,
music.
absolutely.
That's all that really matters.
Mhm.
So making dope beats and enjoying it, and everybody else enjoying it.
Yeah.
So hope everybody enjoyed this.
I definitely did.
I really did as well.
Successful episode 7.
You guys fucking nailed it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yes.
I
Well,
appreciate it.
thank you everyone that's still listening, and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much. So, Meho 6-speed shooter. This was a successful episode 7. Do you have any other shows coming up that you want to plug?
Not as of yet, but
They're coming.
they're coming.
They're coming. All right, sick guys. All right, my name is Andrew.
This is Lane.
Thank you for listening to the Musician's Couch. We'll see you next week.
See you.
Thank you.